Interesting facts about famous people.
Bounty Hunter Westerns, dead or alive. If you put a price on somebody's head, you have created a job, the bounty hunter. Like any job, some are good at it. Let's take a look today at a sample of westerns that depict those who hunt down and return their payday, dead or alive. Someone's got to do it. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel as well. I appreciate it. Let's get into it. Zabata. Zabata, 1969. Western movies are filled with close-up shooters. Then Zabata, Lee Van Cleef, who would rival most modern-day fictional snipers. Zabata's opening sequence. Van Cleef's character is seen taking out a group of thieves from a distance. When he comes to collect his reward, it's discovered the men are stealing $100,000 from the army. There is more than meets the eye. It emerges that a few generals had set up the robbery to use the money to acquire land being targeted by the government for railroad development. As the owners, they would sell it at a higher price. Events play out predictably, with Zabata uncovering the plan, the general sending many men to kill him. The way in which Zabata keeps killing the attackers from all directions is remarkable. They keep coming, he never stops shooting. At the conclusion of the fight, he also kills the generals, leaving him with the entire bag of money.
There's a lot more than 5,000. Answer me. You'd like to know.
Once Upon a Time in the West, Harmonica, 1968. Harmonica, Charles Bronson, is ever calm. He has a quick draw, he plays the harmonica, and utters arguably one of the most memorable Western movie quotes, "Your friends have a high mortality rate, Frank." Frank is an important henchman of a railroad tycoon. Harmonica has an issue with him as he killed his brother long ago, something Frank doesn't remember. Frank is an outlaw with a $5,000 bounty on his head. Harmonica has a plan to capture him and use the reward money to buy a valuable ranch that the tycoon is after. Trying to accomplish this, he is forced to fight many men, ultimately accomplishing his mission. His planned revenge ends with him shooting Frank and placing his harmonica in his mouth, as Frank had done to young Harmonica the day he attacked and killed his family. True Grit, Rooster Cogburn, 1969. The Coen brothers' True Grit is arguably one of the best Western remakes. The original Rooster Cogburn, John Wayne, is still more iconic. The US Marshal relies on bounty hunting as a side job, hired by a girl named Mattie to catch the man who killed her father, earning $100 plus a bonus of $200 for saving her life. A decent amount in the Old West for a bounty job. Rooster racks up even more, killing dozens of henchmen over the course of the film. He has help from a Texas Ranger, LaBouffe. Rooster does the lion's share of the work in this movie. It's assumed he has done many jobs like this in the past, as the fact that he has lasted so long in the job is evidence of that. Vera Cruz, Train, 1954. All bounty hunters are not protagonists. Vera Cruz's main character, Ben Train, is an anti-hero. Ben doesn't hesitate to engage in unlawful schemes to fill his pockets. Starting as a soldier during the Civil War, after being discharged, he begins working as a bounty hunter, hired by Marquis Henry de Labrador from Mexico to transport Countess Duval through dangerous badlands on the way to Vera Cruz. Offered $25,000, he demands $50,000, proof of his intellect. Train later discovers that the stagecoach is holding $3 million in gold, intended to use to buy weapons. The quick-thinking bounty hunter makes a deal with the Countess to keep the cash and claim it was stolen. Other parties along the way attempt to take the gold. Train dispatches them all, walking away with the treasure. The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, Blondie, 1966. Sergio Leone's The Good, the Bad and the Ugly is arguably the greatest spaghetti western for many reasons. One of the three featured characters is the bounty hunter, Blondie, who makes a deal with Tuco to keep capturing him, then helping him escape by shooting the hangman's noose, in turn sharing the bounty, a total of $2,000 each, before their relationship disintegrates. Together with the mercenary Angel Eyes, they try to beat each other to be the first to find $200,000 in Confederate gold, buried in a cemetery. Blondie gets the money, which he surprisingly shares with Tuco. He therefore receives a total of $102,000, making him one of the highest earning fictional bounty hunters ever. Django Unchained, Dr. King Schultz, 2012. Christopher Waltz, underutilized lately, but in 2010 he had a number of incredible roles, like that of dentist turned bounty hunter Dr. King Schultz in Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained. Waltz's character accomplishes much, hunting and killing the notorious Brittle brothers, freeing slaves, training Django to become a bounty hunter, and helping Django find his lost wife, Broomhilda. The character's industriousness is remarkable, seeing that he doesn't even survive the entire movie. Schultz makes a lot from his job. He pays Django $75 the first time he meets him, and agrees to pay $12,000 for Broomhilda's release. He takes down 16 men in the movie,
and
making him only
Joe.
second to Django when it comes to kill count.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Bounty Hunter, Jim Kip, 1954. The opening sequence establishes Kip is good at his job, taking a dead body to town to collect a bounty. One of the townsfolk describes him as the man that will do anything for money. Criminals fear him. The Pinkerton Detective Agency enlists him to track down three thieves who stole $100,000. For his work, he will get a quarter of the booty. The job becomes much more difficult as there is a conspiracy in play. The sheriff is one of the thieves. Several obstacles are thrown at Kip. He fights through them all, due to his tenacity and skill, taking down everyone. At the end of the day, he keeps all the money.
You how you come to take up bounty hunting?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm counting the reasons.
Taste of Killing, Hank Fellows, 1966. You need the right weapons to be a good bounty hunter. For Taste of Killing's protagonist, Hank Fellows, his job is much easier as he has a sniper rifle with a telescopic scope, seen using it at the beginning of the film to target bad guys that have killed soldiers and taken over a military transport, moving money to a Omaha bank. Their strategy was to get to the bank masquerading as soldiers in order to rob the bank. Hank ruins their plan, killing them before delivering their bodies for the bounty. Hank is offered double the money if he helps deliver the money to Omaha, now that the soldiers are dead. Ambushed multiple times, but manages to fight off the attacks and get the money to Omaha safely, finishing with a high body count and double his money. .310 to Yuma, Dan Evans, 2007. One needs motivation to be a good bounty hunter. For .310 to Yuma's Dan Evans, Christian Bale, it was the desire to feed his family. I'm tired of watching my boys go hungry. I'm tired of the way they look at me, he says. Being deep in debt also becomes a strong motivating factor. To resolve his financial issues, Evans volunteers to transport outlaw Ben Wade, Russell Crowe, to prison for $1,000 and his farm is granted access to fresh river water. Disabled, having lost one leg during the Civil War, Evan manages to defend himself from all of Wade's goons and gets the criminal to the prison train. For a few dollars more, Manco, 1965. Manco, also known as the man with no name, only takes on a job if the money is good. Informed that a notorious bank robber named El Indio escaped from prison and has a $27,000 bounty for capturing him and his entire gang, he is motivated. Manco's plan, going undercover in El Indio's gang, finding a way to bring him down. In fact, the bounty hunter rarely uses his gun for the entire movie. The strategy works for him. In the final minutes, he is seen transporting the bodies of the entire gang, exchanging them for the bounties, doing so with suave intimidation, unlike other bounty hunters in the Western genre.
You become rich. You mean we've become rich, old man? No, it's all.
The Hateful Eight, John Ruth, 2015. Sometime after the Civil War, bounty hunter John Ruth and his fugitive captive, Daisy DeMurg, race towards the town of Red Rock, where Ruth will bring Daisy to justice. Along the road, they encounter Major Marquis Warren, an infamous bounty hunter, and Chris Mannix, a man who claims to be Red Rock's new sheriff. In a blizzard, the bunch seeks refuge at Minnie's haberdashery. They are greeted by unfamiliar faces: Bob, who claims to be taking care of the place while Minnie is gone; Oswald Mulbrae, the hangman of Red Rock; Joe Gage, a cowpuncher; and Confederate General Sanford Smithers. As the storm overtakes the mountainside, the 8 travelers come to learn that they may not make it to Red Rock after all.
Music time's over.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel and check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.